I grew up in a small town, lived there my whole life. It's called Coffee Springs, Alabama. And my parents were farmers. My dad grew peanuts, cotton, corn, whatever was available at the time. I was the youngest of 8 children. I had 5 older brothers and an older sister and one that passed away. So as a little 5-year-old girl, I loved to go outside. I loved the animals outside. I loved to help my mom outside. As a 5-year-old, which has been many decades ago, I don't remember all the small details, but I do remember what happened. I was helping my mom. She had this open, huge fire, and she had a cast iron, a kettle, I guess you would say, a huge, they called it washpot, that she would fill it full of water, boil peanuts, there would be pork skins, there were just all kinds of things took place in this huge cast iron kettle. So this particular day, when she was busy doing something else, I wanted to help. So in this pot, there was a huge stick, almost like a boat paddle, that you stirred like when the water gets really hot, starts rolling, it starts to boil over. You took the stick to keep it and stirred it. So I took the stick to help out and start stirring. But as I was stirring, my hand slips, goes down this huge boat paddle and goes into this rolling, boiling water. Because of it being such excruciating pain is why I remember so vividly the pain that took place that day. I lived in a very small rural town, which was probably 50 miles from Dothan, Alabama, which was the nearest hospital. And all I can remember is the pain. I remember the pain well. I'm sure I went into shock because I remember my mom praying. And I remember looking at my hands, and it was just one huge blister with fluid just hanging. And my parents were farmers, so no health insurance. So instead of being placed in the hospital, they would travel back and forth every day for IVs for me. My hand was not getting better. In fact, it was getting worse. Of course, this was a severe 3rd-degree burn. And then the diagnosis came from the doctors that they would have to take me to the nearest burn center. And they would have to take me there and take flesh from another part of my body and graft it onto my hand to save it. I was out of options. I was going to lose my hand. That being said, my mom, being the prayer warrior and faith person that she was, she decided her option was for my healing to take place. At that time, an evangelist named Gail Jackson was coming to Dothan, Alabama for a tent revival, who God used him in the ministry of healing. I remember as a child, a little 5-year-old girl, the excitement that built up in me because I said my hand was going to be well. And I remember the long, long lines. As a little girl, it was a lot of people. I mean, there was hundreds of people there. So I remember standing in that line with my mom, Gail Jackson, praying for my hand. It was all wrapped up. He did not remove the bandages, I remember that. And he evidently told my mom to remove the bandages the next morning. I just remember the next morning being so anxious for my mom to take those bandages off. And what happened then was one of the most exciting things that's ever happened in my life. When she started unwrapping those bandages, then I saw my hand, the blisters, the infection was not there. There was new flesh, literally new flesh, almost like a baby's flesh was growing on my hand. You know, there's more than one scripture. I think Matthew and Luke talks about, you know, when the children would come to Jesus and they would try to take them away from Jesus. But Jesus said, let the children come to me because theirs is the kingdom of heaven. My faith is a small child. My mom's faith, the healing gift of healing from Gail Jackson. I feel very unworthy to receive that miracle, but it was a definite miracle, and I am so thankful to this day. And, you know, Jesus bore the stripes for our healing. And I would just say to anyone to not ever give up hope, because miracles do happen.